Hey guys, Anthony Scott, Toy Hop USA. I'm here with my good buddy Scott Neitlich at PowerCon 2018. Scott, so good to see you again.
I'm ecstatic. I've been elevated to good buddy status. That's awesome.
Oh, that's great. Last year, you or I weren't at PowerCon. I was at HasCon.
I was here briefly. I was definitely here, but I was only here for like a few hours on Sunday.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, versus this year, I've been here from day one to whenever we are now. It's still going.
Oh, that's great.
Huge. It's huge this year.
Yeah, it's huge.
If you didn't come, you missed out.
Yeah, absolutely.
You really did. This was like absolutely a show worth coming to.
I think this was one of the best shows ever.
Yeah, if it keeps up like this is going to be a phenomenal show to keep going.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only going to get bigger. You know, not San Diego Comic-Con big and crazy, but fan-wise, yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. So I want to start asking you about this year's PowerCon exclusives. We were just talking about it. This right here is Chopper.
Yep, that is Chopper.
You were saying that the plastic was different compared to.
Yeah, I mean, I could definitely tell just from 10 years of, I'm sure anyone who's been collecting is the same thing. You could just tell it's a slightly different type of plastic. Heads aren't removable. I'm not criticizing. I'm just saying
just an observation.
Yeah, and the armor's it's a sculpted chest piece, not armor on a chest. But maybe that's more to get the animated proportions, but you don't get the ab crunch.
Right.
But rocker ankles, I guess so. Yeah. The sculpt's great. This was the plan to do animated figures. That was the next step. This was literally the line we were. This was part of the 2016 line, was to launch the animated line. So, and the whole idea was because we were running out of characters, and we needed to do the A-list characters again, and it made sense. Well, now we'll do the animated look, which is why when fans were all yelling about Hordak, the blue Hordak we did at Comic-Con, because we knew we were going to be doing an animated one in a year or two. Right. But the whole point was, well, let's get that done in classic style, so then we could also do the animated. And people saying, well, why didn't you make him look like the animated? Because so we could sell you another toy.
Yeah.
Like, from a Mattel perspective.
Yeah.
So we can sell you two toys, one in classic style. The same thing. This is Chopper in animated style.
Right.
Versus you have him Jitsu in, classic. Same with that blue Hordak. So that was sort of, we knew, this was part of the plan. So anyway, I'm going off.
So, no, go ahead. No, please. Don't let me stop you.
No, I don't know what else you wanted to know.
Okay.
Actually, I want to see let's see the Trollins here.
Because the Trollins.
That's probably the closest one to an actual Classics toy, because these are the Filmation series. I don't personally collect the Filmation one just because I have every Classics figure, and I don't have room to put two giant He-Man collections in my life.
So I can take these out. Yesterday, I removed the twist ties to prepare for this video.
They should figure out from Marvel Legends you don't need twist ties anymore. And it's better without, because then you can take them in and out of package. I think Marvel Legends is the best toy line out there right now.
Oh, absolutely, without a doubt.
I just got the new X-Men wave. It's just keep going, but stop making amalgam characters, Hasbro. Pick a figure and go with it.
Yeah.
It doesn't work when you do like a character that is half the 80s look and half the 2000s look, and they try to put it together. Just do one.
Yeah.
Even if you're never going to get to that character again, do it right.
Yeah, I hear you. Yeah, it's too expensive to be doing it that way.
Yeah, but I get it. So they were on the roadmap. The way we were going to do some Trollins was we were going to sell, I think, a Trollin Mr. Potato Head system, where you got like a base body and it came with like a beard and glasses and different stuff, and you could poke it in.
Right.
That was at least the idea I had, and we were going to because we're going to sell it as the Overlords of Tralla is what we were going to do.
Like a battle pack, right?
It was going to be like a multi-pack at Comic-Con, and it was going to be like 3 or 4 Trollin bodies and a whole bunch of eyes and ears and hats and things to plug in to make up to 10 different characters.
Well, that's interesting. So that's a good concept.
But I like this. I would have, if they still had these, I would have definitely gotten this one, because this would fit in with, I feel like, Classics more than like this. I don't need in my collection because this is clearly animated, but for those who love animated, it's perfect.
Yeah.
It's just not what I love. I love classic style. But I like these. I like that they went sort of half and half, and it was cool.
Yeah, these are their magic wands.
So this is the Orko body, right? Yeah. They use the Orko body?
I think so.
Yeah.
I don't have an Orko with me to compare.
She definitely has, the hands are different because these are more feminine. So they must have done, hands. Yeah, it's definitely the Orko body.
All right, that's the Orko body.
Yeah,
that would make the most sense just to reuse that.
No, that's great. I was really excited when they announced these.
Yeah.
I may one. Maybe I'll pick them up one day on the aftermarket.
So these are the wands. You know, I didn't think they would ever get to more Trollins.
Hey,
Super
we did the
7.
unnamed one.
But yeah.
He's a Trollin. Everyone hates him, but he's a Trollin.
That's true. That is very true.
Cool. No, they did a great job. I mean, I love that they're making it. It makes so much more sense for the line to be at Super 7 because Mattel is way too big of a company. Wow.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, they don't easily go inside.
Well, maybe this one will work better with her.
Are they
I don't
two
know if
different?
it's two different.
Let's find out. Did I speak before?
Yeah.
Nope. They don't go easily in. Epic fail.
Oh boy.
They do not go easily in. Nope. Sorry, epic fail.
All right. Well, you know what? I'll use a hair dryer and see. That might work a little better.
Maybe. Super glue.
Yeah.
I use a lot of super glue. I super glue a lot of figures because other than just like making them like, especially like on my Marvel Legends, like Mysterio's cape just kept popping off. So I was like, fine, I'm just gluing it on. Never gonna take it off.
Right.
So you know.
Wow.
Much better that way.
That's disappointing when stuff like this happens. You know, you work so hard on it for the companies and for the fans.
I mean, I get it. You know, Roboto, things happen.
Yeah.
Come on, you really? You guys couldn't get this thing to go in? Sorry, Mark. Sorry. Don't mean to call you.
You know, last night I didn't even test to see if the stands were compatible with the figures.
They're like completely incompatible. Not even close.
Wow. That stinks. Well, there you go. Right from Scott, guys.
There you go. See?
Epic fail.
I can say it stinks too.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? I'm like the most. I was just as critical as everyone. You know, it's just that I was up against Mattel deadlines and logistics, and there's only so much you could do. You know, but like I don't know. This feels like this is something. Not making the stand fit the figure was. I don't think we ever had something like that. That's pretty basic.
Yeah.
So.
But I wanted to talk to you about yesterday's panel.
Yes. I'm going to play with Spike while you do that because I love Spike.
Yeah, he was great. You know.
One of my favorite but let's keep talking while I play with Spike.
Yeah, absolutely.
Oh wow, this is not clearly. Oh ow.
Yeah.
This is so not a Mattel product. This would have never, ever gone through Mattel stand. These spikes are incredibly hard.
Right.
They hurt. Ow. This hurts. Wow. This would have never made it through Mattel like safety standards ever. So this is what you get when you get a smaller company. You get spikier spike work. I'm not criticizing it. I'm just saying this would have Mattel.
That's interesting because you would think that Super 7 would need to go through Mattel to make sure it was up to certain standards.
Who knows what that relationship is?
Yeah.
Who knows?
It's a little unclear what's going on. And this was a little hard to get in his hand.
Yeah, also a little spiky for Mattelli.
Yeah. Mattelli.
Yeah, and his hand's really tight.
Yeah.
It's funny, where you want rubbery plastic, you don't get it. Because it's sometimes good to have rubbery plastic on the hand, so you could, I don't want to break your figure.
Yeah.
And
that's why you got to use a hairdryer.
No, it doesn't come out.
No.
Because we did so you can't even do extended thing? Did he ever do that? Did he do that in the episode? I don't remember.
I don't remember if it was in the episode or not.
Oh, I feel like that, I don't know. If it's not episode specific, I can't be that critical, but I feel like Spike or at least give him the extended thing.
Yeah.
Oh, well, all right. Wow, that hurts.
Right?
Right?
Yeah.
You can't have that in your hand.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? Honestly, not to be, you know what? I'm allowed to be critical. I don't think toys should hurt in your hand because you want to hold them and feel them. Yeah. And there's a big tactile love with toys. In particular, part of my collection is I have a box next to my couch that is sort of just my everyday bunch. It's 50 figures maybe.
Right.
And it's a random thing of DC and Marvel and Masters, and it's all 6-inch. It's random. But I keep it there because I like to just while I watch TV, put my hand in there and see who I pull out. And everyone in there is one of my favorite characters.
Wow.
So it's I'm guaranteed to pull out someone I like. But it's I felt like if he was in there, that wouldn't work because I would hurt myself every time I ran him. Not that that's how everyone plays with their toys, but I don't know. I don't that scares me, the fact that hurts. That really pokes your finger.
Yeah. Plus, kids are buying classics. There's a lot of kids playing with the.
Do they safety stand on this? There's no age grade, and there's no ASD safety. That's recycle. They do not safety grade this. Oh wait, no, here you go. Conforms to safety requirements of ASTM. Okay, so they do. They do the U.S. safety grade. They don't do the European. Actually, that's what the line is. Line's European, but it's definitely not. Okay, so they do, yeah. I mean, obviously they have to have that because you can't release a toy. But and an adult collector, there's your age grade. I shouldn't bash them. They're doing everything proper. So yeah, okay. So it is age grade for 18 plus.
Right.
So that's fine. So yeah, it's not meant for kids.
No.
So they can do that. Yay!
All right. Yeah.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is I was happy to see kids playing with MOTU Classics because you don't usually see that.
I saw a lot of kids at the show. I saw a kid playing with Snake Face, and so it was just awesome. Yeah, it's really fun.
I saw a kid with the Talon Fighter that Mattel was selling for like $60 on clearance at their booth.
Oh, were they?
Yeah.
Jeez.
$60. The Roton too.
Really? That's funny.
They were just giving it away.
Yeah,
I would have gotten one, but I would have to ship it back, and that costs a lot of money.
Oh, I wanted to get another T-Lash. Should have done that, but that's okay.
Yeah.
I have more than enough He-Man toys.
Yeah. Yes, I was saying yesterday's panel. I thought it was such good feedback, and things that you've probably been holding back for years without telling people what happened behind the scenes and everything. This was the origin of MOTU Classics.
Yeah, I mean, it's no big secret, just that I was doing it. I mean, I think just the irony is over the years, when I was vilified a lot online, it's like, do you not realize that I'm like your best ally here? Like, you're really biting the hand that feeds you. I get everything can't be perfect, but look what happened. I mean, I'll be slightly self-indulgent, but look what happens when I'm not there. 2016, 2017, like that's literally night and day, because the brand was never. Well, not never. There was a 6-month period in the middle, but it was never an official assignment, meaning if I left, it wasn't going to go to somebody. So it was something that I did because I agreed to do it, but I also had a regular job, Green Lantern, DC. No one else in the company ran like a Green Lantern-esque line and also did a direct-to-consumer line that required conventions and consumer reaction and all the stuff I did. Like, no one else in the company did that. I did that because I love doing that. Hot Wheels Collector has a brand manager. Right. Barbie Collector has a brand manager, but as could be seen, the moment I left, they didn't replace me.
No.
Because there was no opening. They never created the position of MattyCollector brand manager. They had a logistics coordinator. Right. And they had the logistics coordinator, Kim. People might remember her.
Yes.
She was working for me, running logistics of making sure Spike Ore got to the factory in time and the spreadsheets and all that kind of stuff, while I did fan interaction and the toy creation part of the job. So when I left, they basically just had her do everything, but God bless her, but she wasn't, she was a logistics coordinator, not somebody who could really step up and do what I was doing. And then she left, and then they gave the job to Mega Bloks in Canada. Because
I
Mega
think
Bloks.
Mark had it temporarily.
Mark just was sort of the director that Kim reported to.
Okay.
Just in the chain of command.
Right.
But he never actually, because that's who I would report. That was but there was no one, they never replaced what I did. She kept doing the logistics, but they never replaced me, ever.
Yeah.
And that's sort of if they just replaced me, it could have kept going, which is what they should have. I couldn't believe they didn't immediately, after I left, where was the job opening?
Yeah.
If the person in charge of Barbie Collector had left, there would immediately be an opening for the person running Barbie Collector.
Yeah.
Even today. Knows the fact that there is no MattyCollector anymore.
Right.
Why would you scuttle it when now they're trying to launch a He-Man line again?
Yeah.
If you had MattyCollector, you'd be shipping those Catra dolls.
Yeah.
You guys got rid of it because you never created it in the first place. It was literally a pet project that I did on the weekend.
Yeah. Wow. That's I'm very surprised.
I gotta stop holding him. He hurts. Hold on.
Yeah,
it's better.
It's hurting you.
Keep going. What's the next
okay.
question? I just gotta find something better.
Yeah. No, I was very surprised because it seemed like you were.
Much better.
Oh, very nice.
Sit on the hand. So
yeah. Yeah. Good old Hasbro, right?
This is an awesome toy. I mean, look at that. Look at that face sculpt.
Yeah.
I'm not a huge fan of 6-inch Star Wars. I like 3 3/4, but I've been getting a lot of them from Entertainment Earth.
Yeah.
Because Entertainment Earth always has they have full case packs. You just have to wait. That's awesome. So you could just get Han. I love ordering from entertainmentearth.com. Selmless plug.
Yeah, Hasbro's doing a great job with those.
Yes.
It's really come a long way. Let people see it on the camera.
There you go. Yeah, Hasbro does an amazing job with the Black Series. Their face sculpt is unbelievable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I was very surprised that they never created an actual position because
you and me both.
Because sitting on the sidelines, like so many other people, it looked like you were actually assigned to there. You were the brand manager. You were the face of MattyCollector for all those years.
Yes.
And I didn't realize that you were actually doing something else on top of that. Like you said, Green Lantern.
Green Lantern, DC Universe, Hot Wheels Star Wars.
Wow.
Yeah, I mean, it clearly was a brand. I don't want to say Mattel like pretended it didn't exist because it did have, I mean, there were weekly meetings. There, you know, like I'm not pretending it was like literally a project that I did 100% on my own because obviously there were designers and packaging people and logistics people that were assigned to it, but the fact that all I'm saying is that after I left that there wasn't an open position filled.
Yeah.
Because I just did it and they never questioned it. It was more that. It's like it was a legitimate brand. In fact, there's a conference room called the MattyCollector Conference Room because the year they redid Mattel in like 2012, MattyCollector was doing really well and they gave them their own conference room called and it's still called the MattyCollector Conference Room.
Oh, wow.
It's like the only thing left from the brand.
Wow.
So I'm not saying that Mattel didn't recognize it. I mean, you know, we had financial targets that we had to hit.
Right.
We had non-media that we were given. So Mattel did support the brand. They just never created a position because someone somewhere was like, Scott's doing it. They'll just do it.
Yeah.
I
Wow.
mean, I'm not saying they didn't recognize the brand. They did, you know. They were very supportive. I mean, my local management was incredibly supportive. The fact that we've made all these figures, they were very, very supportive. They just, when I left, never created the position MattyCollector brand manager.
Right.
Mostly because it's not big enough. A brand manager has to manage like X amount of business.
Right.
And Matty is so tiny that it just doesn't hit the radar.
Right.
So,
Wow. Well, it was very disappointing the way it was shut down.
like, who
And
shuts
that
that down?
ended.
Why would you do that? You
I know.
It's because I wasn't there, and no
Yeah.
one wanted to do it.
Yeah, that's what happened. I heard that it was at a meeting, no one spoke up, and the guy in charge just shut it down.
Yeah.
That's what I've been told.
You need, you know, I said one time you needed a brand champion, and everyone started throwing me under the bus saying, oh, he thinks he's the He-Man champion. But it's like you need someone there saying, let's make these toys, let's do this, there's a reason to do this.
Yeah.
I mean, I know Brandon Sapinski says he's really doing a lot of that now, and that's awesome.
Yeah.
Because you need someone in marketing. Unfortunately, design isn't enough because design is limited on what they can do. You need marketing is the gear that turns Mattel. It's the person who's marketing runs everything. I mean, it's not the secret. They tell you that.
Yeah.
It's even in the Darren binder. When I came to marketing, they said marketing is you're the center of the gear. You have to run everything. Because I transferred from the packaging department, where I was a writer. That was my job. Everyone's like, Scott can't write. I was a writer. That was what I was hired of Mattel to do, to be a writer. And then I transferred from that to the marketing group when I pitched MattyCollector to Tim Kilpin. And they said, okay, give him 90 days and see if he can get this together. And that's when I went from being a writer to in the marketing group. So
That's interesting.
yes.
That's cool.
So there you go.
So let me ask you, your original roadmap, 2018 through 2016, you said last night at the panel, I had it down, it was 2017. All of those toys have now been released, right, from your roadmap?
More or less. I mean, some got cut in, like, definitely some of, like, the more obscure characters got cut so that we could get to the A-list characters. Like, it was whatever that year was where we redid the roadmap.
Right.
We basically cut 2 years worth of, like, fat, basically. You know, your fighting foemen and your Vicors and your Green Goddess, you know, the things that, like, were the fat.
Right.
And we cut all of that to just make sure we got to the core figures before basically prices got so high that we knew it was going to get too expensive to make these, or we'd run out. So yeah, I mean, yes, we finished. I mean, yeah, we didn't get to some of the fat. Like, this was a great example. This was one of the fat. We wanted to do a bunch of Trollins as a perfect example. Not necessarily in Filmation style, but in classic style. The idea was to do a multi-pack of Trollins, and with the Mr. Potato Head feature, plug on a beer, plug on a whatever, and make a couple. So that was a perfect example of someone from the roadmap that got cut. But haven't. So yay!
Yeah. Do you remember what year that was supposed to be a Comic-Con exclusive?
The Trollins?
The Trollins,
I think 17.
17?
Yeah.
Well, that makes the most sense. You left in 2016.
16 was going to be Prince Keldor and Prince Randor from in their shining armor, because the movie at the time was going to be based around their relationship.
Okay.
So we wanted to promote that relationship.
Right.
And it was sort of like an Anakin, Obi-Wan, Clone Wars kind of thing. So that was going to be that was the year there was no Comic-Con exclusive.
Right.
When nothing happened.
Right.
And then 17 would have been the Overlords of Tralla pack, which would have been like 5 or 6 Trollin bodies with a bunch of parts to make like 100 different characters or whatever.
Yeah.
Or at least that was what the plan was. I mean,
Yeah, I remember that Comic-Con. It was announced just before or during Comic-Con. MattyCollector was shutting down, and the overall vibe was like very, probably a little uncertainty, a little uncomfortable. at the Mattel booth? Because I know that a lot of people were going up to them saying, what's going on?
I'm sure.
And you weren't there, but I think for the most part, people were upset over that, and definitely Thundercats.
Oh yeah, that was another thing. Was like, I mean, I worked on Thundercats, and that, I got it to where it was because again, I worked on the 16 line,
right.
And again, the reason Thundercats didn't continue is because there was when I left, they didn't actively. I mean, why immediately HR should have put out recruitment to bring in a marketing manager for MattyCollector. Like that would happen in any other job at Mattel.
Yeah.
Someone leaves, it immediately triggers HR to find a replacement.
Yeah.
They didn't replace me. And I was the one making the Thundercats toy, so nobody, and literally just, and Kim was great, but she was doing everything she could just to keep the logistics going, but she had no manager.
Right.
And Mark managed, all of boys. Like people I think came across him saying that he was the manager of Matty. He was the manager of all of boys.
Wow.
Matty was one of 19 brands he oversaw, and 18 of them were million billion-dollar brands, like, Batman.
Right.
And then there's MattyCollector on his spreadsheet.
Yeah.
So I think he came out of Comic-Con, was like, yeah, I'm Mark, I'm running that. He's running it in the sense that he's the director.
Right.
But he didn't say that he also manages these 19 other brands.
No, he didn't.
Equally.
I was at that panel.
Yeah. The one where they threw me under the bus. Yes, that was fun.
Yeah.
I like watching it. You guys should go back and watch that one. Watch all the things that were promised at that panel.
Yeah.
And then I want to hear the ding video for all the things that didn't happen that they said were happening.
Yeah.
That's what I want to see.
You're right. Yeah. I don't think I filmed that video, but there's probably film of it
it's
somewhere.
on there. Yeah, it's on the internet. You can see it. I've watched it a few times after. I mean, they promised Thundercats is happening, Ghostbusters is happening, and this is happening.
Oh,
and,
that's right. Yeah, it's just something like real Ghostbusters.
Oh, yeah. Well, which I worked on. We were doing that. Yes.
Yeah, I think Mad Bulls or something was something
they
they
were
stuff
doing. Yeah, we had a 16 line. It was a full year line. It was a robust, big line with lots of stuff. But when I left, it's again they were running. It was like I left them with a full tank of gas.
Yeah.
And they kept going, and they just never refilled the gas.
Yeah.
And immediately they should have filled my position, and I don't understand why they didn't.
Yeah. That's
I'm not saying Mattel didn't take the brand seriously, but they didn't replace me. That's all they didn't do.
Yeah.
I don't want people to think I'm bashing Mattel. I'm just saying I don't understand why it wasn't immediately replaced the next day.
Right.
Any other brand manager, Hot Wheels, Barbie, would have been replaced the next day.
Yeah.
There's the question.
Yeah, I know. You're right. I don't know what the thinking was going on there.
Yeah.
But,
well, too small. That was the problem. I know what the thinking was.
MattyCollector's
too small to demand a brand manager.
Yeah.
They can't justify the headcount. No company could.
Yeah.
That was the problem. It was too damn small.
So, all right. The mini comics.
The mini comics, yes.
That was a pet project on the side of MattyCollector for you, too.
Well, it was not. All of MattyCollector was the same pet project.
Mm-hmm.
It was basically doing everything I could to sell the figures and to seed the figures with more character, or seed the line with the potential for more characters. So, not to cut you off to the question, but the main impetus behind the mini comics was one that we finally got some money. So we put basically every year all the money into one mini comic, except for the year that we did 3 because that was a gift for management for the 30th anniversary. We used the 30th anniversary gift. But basically we used all of our money. Instead of buying Tila buttons for Comic-Con, we just put everything into one mini comic. Right. And we used that mini comic to jam as many characters in as humanly possible with the hope that maybe 1 or 2 would stick and then fans would want a toy. Because we were running out of characters really quick. It was all about just getting more visuals of more characters out there to justify doing more toys.
Right.
That's all it really was at the end of the day.
Okay.
And to use them to link together continuity in fun ways, obviously.
It's a shame that the mini comics didn't continue after you left.
It's a shame nothing continued after I left. I mean.
But I hope that Super 7, one thing I wanted to ask you about, to see if Super 7 will hopefully continue the mini comic aspect of it. What do you think? Would you?
Sure. I buy all the classic figures they make. I bought Stridor. I bought Fangor.
Yeah.
I will buy anything classics any company will make. It's good that Mattel's not making this because Mattel's too big. It's great that Super 7 is doing this. I love it. Even if Spikor is too spiky.
Yeah.
But if they want to do mini comics, please, God bless them. Please.
And I hope they reach out to you to write them and do the work.
It would be
that would be.
They know. Mark knows how to get a hold of me, but I think they've got it well under control. I don't know if people need more stuff from me. But I'm available.
But you did a great job in the mini comics. Let me tell you, I think the stories were really good.
Yeah, I'm really proud of them.
Yeah.
And the 8th one just kills me because they screwed it up so horribly. I mean, if you guys can watch the panel on the mini comics, Axel and I talk about it a little bit. But yeah, I mean, they had dialogue coming from the wrong people. They drew the wrong things. It was just horrible. They totally screwed it up.
Yeah.
So
all right. What do you think of Snake Mountain finally coming into Classics, potentially?
I'd love to see it happen. I had a bet with Adam Paulus that the sail barge wouldn't happen, and I lost that one. I mean, good for Hasbro. I'm so excited they're doing that. I just was like shocked that I was like, wow, I can't believe they got that. I didn't know it would happen. So anything's possible. You know, anything's possible. I didn't think we'd get to Grayskull. So
Yeah, Grayskull was a bit of a gift.
I wish them all the luck in the world. I will not be buying one just because I have no place to put one, and I have 2 Castle Grayskulls. One's at work, one's at home, and that's about all I have room for.
Okay.
I don't know. I can't say that. Maybe I'd buy one, but Castle Grayskull was much more iconic, and that was. I mean, I would have still tried to push to make one at Mattel. I'm not saying like. There were tons of characters and toys that I made, that I didn't personally like. That my personal taste. I like the Castle Grayskull better than Snake Mountain, but I get why fans want it. And I'd love to see that happen.
Yeah, it's huge. So I don't know.
That's what I mean. Like I don't know where I'd put it.
Yeah,
I didn't get a sail barge because I have no place to put a sail barge.
That's what I said to Josh. I'm like, I want it, but where do I put it?
Yeah, I already have the castles on my top shelf, and I have my vintage Millennium Falcon on the other big shelf, and my X-Men Marvel Legends on my 3rd shelf. It's like I only have so many shelves.
Yeah. That's the problem. You need a warehouse at some point.
But I want to see my toys, too. Yeah. And eventually, at some point, it just becomes clutter. It's like I've gotten to the point that I'm sort of picking and choosing, and I have the best of the best out, and I've actually, gotten rid of a lot of other stuff.
Right.
Because it takes up space.
It does, yeah.
So I'm really kind of slimming down to what I really like. I only have one collection of MOTU Classics now. I mean, granted, I have every variant of every character and every pub, but I used to have multiple sets. But I've given away to kids and all sorts of stuff over the years. It's I used to have multiple full collections.
Wow.
But I was like, why? I just can't hold on to that much stuff.
Yeah. Well, I kept basically the entire collection, minus a few figures. I don't have the King Grayskull 2008 figure, and I think one other I'm missing from that. But for the most part, it's pretty much complete, and it looks good together, all together.
It
and
does.
Look at this, guys.
I put them all out the other day just to see them all again before the show. I'm like, yeah, it's great. I wish they would complete that cross-sell poster as well as insert them in the proper place, in the continuity.
Right.
It'd be great to get an up because we were going to do an update of that every 2 years was the plan. So that'd be fun to get. Super 7, make it happen.
Yeah, absolutely.
So I'd love to see that.
I'm hoping they.
But don't just put the figures in a random order. You have to put them in the right order.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. So, how do you think Mattel's going to do this without MattyCollector?
Do what?
To relaunch MOTU and Thundercats and everything.
Are they?
They're looking at it. That's what the hashtags are all about. Do you think they're going to be able to accomplish this without the flagship MattyCollector?
If they have someone there who will do the work, yes, absolutely. Yes, 100%. Mattel can do anything as long as there is someone there passionate enough. Mattel is really good at recognizing people's passions and funding it.
Okay.
With resources and money, as needed. So as long as there's someone who's passionate about making toys, and if it's someone passionate about making MOTU toys, yes, they will do it. There has to be a passionate team, though. They won't just do it because a spreadsheet says to do it.
Right.
You're going to need passionate people.
Yeah.
So if you love He-Man, go apply it at Mattel. They need you.
Yeah, they need you. And make sure to use those hashtag guys.
Yeah, Mattel's a very supportive company.
Yeah.
They just need people who are, passionate.
They do. Just like the vintage toys back in the 80s, they had a whole team that was very passionate about the brand.
The more passionate the brand is, the better the toys are.
Yeah.
Bill Beneke makes great DC toys because he's a huge DC fan.
Yeah.
I have seen brand managers who are not, or designers who are not DC fans, make crappy DC toys. Yeah.
Yeah, some of the kids' lines, I'm assuming you're
I'm not going to say
Yeah.
what companies or what lines, but I've seen people not passionate about toys make, lines that are not good. So you can see the difference.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good. So the other thing I wanted to talk to you about was Pinmates. What
Pinmates.
you're working on now.
I love Pinmates.
Yeah.
Do I have any with me? You can get all in the display case.
I photographed your display case.
Awesome.
It's on the
You can
site.
see that. Go to the site.
Yeah.
So Pinmates are a sort of a recreation tribute of the old Happy Family toys that became sort of those little people.
Right.
The little smiley figures with the round faces and the peg bodies. Mm-hmm. So it is literally a one-to-one recreation of that toy that was the best-selling toy in the world for 50 years. It came out in 59 as the Happy Family bus.
Oh, wow.
It ran all the way through 86 when Mattel bought Fisher-Price. Yeah. And then in the late 80s, they changed them, and they gave them like real bodies with arms and legs and hats and stuff. Mm-hmm. And when they changed it, when they took it off the market, they actually took a play pattern off the market. What I mean by a play pattern is, like action figures, the play pattern we call is like doinky doink play, like I'm gonna get you, yeah, doink 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 doink.
Yeah.
Versus wheels play, like rolling Hot Wheels.
Right.
Well, Pinmates or Happy Family or Little People or whatever you want to call them, peg-shaped figures could do things that no other toy could, namely go down slides, go down trap doors, fit in holes, swings, because of the peg shape. Mm-hmm. When you take a modern Little People, for example, and you try to put in the Fisher-Price Sesame Street playset, the slide, they won't go down the slide. But you could take a Pinmate and it's 100% compatible. So you can take all your old playsets that you know mom and grandma still have, and now you can have licensed characters, Batman, Spider-Man, Spock, Gene Simmons, and you can play with these playsets. So you can have Deadpool driving the choo-choo train. It's hilariously fun, and kids love it. We put it in front of kids. That was what convinced us, because the line's been out for about 3 years. Entertainment Earth put it out, and it was on in not blisters, clamshells, little clamshell packaging aimed at the adult collector. When I came on board about a year ago, we took a step back and we said, wait a minute, these aren't just for the adult collector. This toy is universal. It has kids, so you could keep selling it to adults, of course, but you could also sell it to kids. And it's wooden, and we're wrapping the whole thing up in no electronics, no apps, no batteries, no assembly, no screens. Parents hate screens. Yeah. I mean, let's face it, the only people that are playing with toys are 4 to 6 year olds and adult collectors. Yeah. Everyone else in the middle uses screens. And it's the elephant in the room that the industry doesn't really want to admit. Yeah. So we deliberately are making this line to appeal to the two people actually playing with toys, 4 to 6 year olds and adult collectors. Right. For 4 to 6 year olds, it's, I could do anything, I could be anything. Deadpool could be in the choo-choo train, go down the slide. For adult collectors, it's I have them all, I have more than you, which is how we all collect stuff. So we really feel this is a line that adults and kids could get on the floor together and play with, and really bring back real play. No screens, no hitting a screen and getting dopamine hits and likes. That's not a way to play, and that's the way kids are playing now. They're getting dopamine hits by going likes. How many things can I get? And that's not a proper way to induce dopamine versus the thrilling dopamine when a character goes down a slide or you find that chase figure at 8 o'clock in the morning at Target. That feeling is awesome. Yeah. So that's what this is all about, and that's why I'm really excited, because I'm working on a line that, as a parent, my daughter loves playing with it, and I love collecting it. And she never played with toys. She really just did art. But as soon as I brought out my old playset and brought a bunch of Pinmates home, she was playing for hours, and that was what convinced me. I was like, wow, there's something bigger here. And I brought that to my boss. I said, I think we need to rebrand this for kids. And they agreed with me, and we put them out in new packaging, which is mom and kid friendly and collector friendly. All the figures are numbered, big key art. They look beautiful. And we have an amazing Infinity Gauntlet Marvel set. It's on entertainmentearth.com right now. Yeah. You get the entire Marvel universe, including Thanos. It's literally from the 1991 comic. And it's everyone. It's an amazing set.
You just brought something up. I've seen kids play, but I guess this current generation, they're not playing like other kids.
No, they're not. And then they've turned screens into toys. Yeah. And it's not just that the screens are giving, there's some very educational toys with screens, Alf learning things, but literally the games they create now for kids recreate the same dopamine hit for adults from Facebook. Like I get a like, I get a ding, I get a tingle, I get a tweet, whatever. And it's easy to find art. Even Playmobil is saying they recognize this and they're going to start developing toys without apps in 2 years. Okay. And the founders of Facebook are saying we screwed up. Like the software we created is creating this dopamine-inducing environment, and that's not healthy. Yeah. So we're very cognizant. We're going to put that on package. No screens, no apps, no electronics. Like we're being very loud about that. Okay. We want parents to know Pinmates is a safe, healthy alternative not just alternative, but it's got 50 years of proven sales and play.
Yeah.
I mean, this was the best-selling toy in the world for 50 years, and it only went off the market because Mattel bought Fisher-Price, and they thought they would update it.
Right.
But you could take out all your old stuff and play with the Pinmates, and it's like it all comes alive again.
Yeah.
But now with, like, you know, Batman and Deadpool and Mr. Spock, it's awesome.
Yeah. So you're also doing play sets.
Yes, so we showed the Batcave,
yep,
which is a basically an homage to the old house. So it's half Bruce Wayne's manor and half Batcave. And when you open it up all the way, Batman can actually pass under the stairs into the Batcave.
Oh wow!
Because you open, there's a hole.
Right.
And that's the first time they've ever been a Batcave playset that let you do that.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, it's really, really cool. And it's going to have more Easter eggs in it than Avengers and Deadpool combined.
Wow.
Like all the stickers are going to have like all these Easter eggs for like Batman stuff. We got Scott Beatty to help us write some of them. He wrote the Batman Encyclopedia. Mm-hmm. It's off the hook. It's amazing. Kids are going to love it. Collectors are going to love the display on it. We also have an Enterprise playset that's out now and a Hall of Justice playset. So it's all on entertainmentearth.com under Pinmates.
Good.
Yeah.
That's good to know. And is there anything else?
And vehicles, too.
Oh, and vehicles?
Yeah, because we're doing a ton of vehicles. There's already a Batmobile and a Milano.
Those are small, though.
Yeah. We're doing a 66 Batmobile. We're doing way more vehicles, too. You're going to see them rolling out.
Okay.
Because it's all about vehicle play, too. Rolling and stuff. So, yeah, you can get the Batmobile's on entertainmentearth.com now. So is the Milano from Guardians and stuff. So, yeah, we're going to do a lot of that.
So you guys have a lot of Marvel stuff. I'm hoping you guys do an Xavier's Mansion play set. I think a lot of people are waiting for something like that.
Our lead designer, Griffin. Mm-hmm. Hi, Griffin. That's his dream job, dream project. He's like, all he wants to do is do an X-Mansion, basically the same thing with the Batcave, half X-Mansion and half Danger Room.
Yes.
Like he's begging, like, we'll do it. Because we can make wooden play sets.
Yeah.
I mean, we have to work with our great partners at Marvel and DC, or Marvel and Disney, to make that happen. But it is something we've talked about, yeah. So when the Batcave's a hit, I think an X-Mansion would be cool. Can't promise it.
Yeah.
But all I can say is it's something we're excited about. That's it. I'm not promising it. I'm not saying we're making it, but physically we like that idea.
Yeah, it's definitely a great idea.
I have to watch my legal hedging.
Yeah, you gotta.
That.
Yeah.
I mean, we talk about a lot of stuff. I mean, we talk about doing stuff that'll never happen. So it's like
Yeah. What's is there anything else you would like to add that we didn't?
It's great to see all the fans.
Yeah.
I just keep buying toys. Keep playing with kids. I mean, with toys. Toys are meant to be played with.
Yeah.
I
I was so happy to see kids playing with this. I know we talked about that, but I mean, it's great to see kids pick up an action figure and not go ouch, but.
And Super 7, if you're watching, if you want to send me a 2-pack of these to Entertainment Earth, I know you have our address because we receive your stuff on our dock all the time. So, Mark, if you're listening, I would love a set. So, awesome. Thank you.
Yeah, hopefully. Or PowerCon. Maybe they have an extra one.
I don't want to, yeah, true.
So, all right. Well, thank you so much, Scott.
My pleasure.
Always good to see you.
Absolutely.
And best of luck. We'll be in touch. And let us keep letting us know, what's going on with Pinmates and
will do. Yeah, guys, check it out.
Else.
There's going to be a lot of cool stuff coming. We're really serious about this. This is the one to do.
Okay.
It's got all the right reasons.
Can you say when the Batcave is going to go up for pre-order? Because I've asked for images and
it's definitely not going to be till 2019. I mean, it's going to be a 2019 toy, not a 2018 toy. So I'll probably know better after Dallas Toy Fair, which is in October. Before we head into New York. We'll definitely have news at New York Toy Fair to talk about. So we're still the one we showed in San Diego was a very early prototype. We've already made a lot of changes to make it better. So that's why we're encouraging people this year to know that our line is 100% vintage compatible, down to the mail slot. So any of those, that's why you could pick stuff up from eBay. You could pull it out of your mom's and dad's, grandma's attic. And like the ones in the display, those are my toys. I pulled out of my parents' garage. Literally, literally, that's my barn that I played with. That's my Sesame Street set in there. So you can do that. You could pull out your old stuff, put it on the floor with your kids, buy a bunch of Pinmates, because not that the old figures aren't good, but the new figures really bring them to life because they're so much brighter and they're licensed. The old ones were just, they had Sesame Street, but otherwise just had people. So we actually have cops, and we have Spider-Man, and we have Batman, and Deadpool, and Captain Kirk, and it's Gene Simmons, and it's, it brings these old toys to life again, and it can give them, it's like Toy Story, it can give them a whole new life.
Yeah.
It can breathe new positive play into these old toys that have probably been sitting in your attic unplayed with, you'd be amazed what happens when you put them in front of children. I was blown away. That's why I'm doing this. I was going to do a collector line for them. But when we saw kids playing with these Pinmates, we did testing. We put them in the room with them. And we put iPads in the room. And kids would not stop playing. We were blown away. And you cannot make that stuff up.
Yeah.
It really worked.
Well, that's good to hear.
Get them off apps, guys. Play with kids. Play with toys.
Well, that's good. You're saving this current generation.
Well, not everyone who buys a Pinmate is, so you can be part of the solution.
And they're cheap. They're like $4.99.
Yeah, they're perfect, quick buy me gifts.
Yeah.
And yes, we're working on getting playsets and more vehicles out, but you can play with your vintage stuff. And it's hilarious putting Deadpool in the choo-choo train. It's awesome. I encourage people to do that.
Yeah. So let me ask you this last question. Toys R Us is gone, obviously. With that, I think about 15-20% toy sales went with it. And Pinmates were available at Toys R Us.
Yep, they were.
So, and now I don't think they're available at any other brick and mortar store.
No.
As far as I know.
Well, they're at Target in the RSS section, the back wall.
Okay.
Walgreens is going to have them in a few weeks. They're going to have the Marvel Silver Series, which is going to have Deadpool, Punisher, Carnage, Howard the Duck with a Chase variant, and then they have more waves after that on the way. Hobbytown, Party City is still confirming. You can always get them on entertainmentearth.com, of course. But yeah, they're going to be in brick and mortar too, especially your mom and pops and your comic shops. And if there's any comic book shops or mom and pops listening to this, just contact Entertainment Earth because we distribute, so we can get them to you. They're meant for comic book shops. They're meant for places where people walk in and they want wooden toys and they want that kind of stuff. So if anyone listening to this, you guys own a comic book store, you own a store, contact Entertainment Earth Distribution. We wholesale. We are the makers of Pinmates. We want it in your store.
That's right. Yeah, the more kids in front of it, the better, I think.
Absolutely, and they're retail ready. Blind boxes, clip strips, we can put them, they're really ready to sell at retail. Any area of your store that's not making you money, just put a clip strip on it. Now you got $5 items.
Yeah.
Now you're making money off of that podium that wasn't selling toys.
That's great.
Entertainment Earth Distribution. Go there.
All right. Well, thank you so much, Scott.
You're
so
welcome.
Good to see you.
Absolutely. Real pleasure.
Thank you so much.
Thanks for letting me pimp all my stuff.
Oh, absolutely.
Really appreciate it.
And I love the feedback that you gave on Spike or stuff like that. It's really interesting to hear what you have to say.
Well, yeah, thanks. I'm always glad to give it.
Yeah, thank you so much. All right, guys, take care. Anthony Scott, Toy Hop USA. More coverage on the site, and thank you very much. Bye-bye.